Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss a case relating to public international law and also the local law relating to India, that is the constitution. Constitution also it will come. Anyway, you can call it as a famous case law called as Enrica Lexi case. Before dealing with the case, which has become a sensational one during the year 2012, let us go into the facts of the case. You will be able to appreciate if you know the facts of the case. Right. On 15/2, that is February 15th of 2012, at about 4:30 p.m., there was an incident of opening of fire by two Italian mariners on a boat belonging to the fishermen of Cochin of Kerala state. Right? You may be knowing the different zones. This ship by name Enrica Lexi, it has started from Italy, bound for Bombay, and while it was going near Cochin in the international waters or in the Arabian Sea, at a distance of 20.5, 20 and a half nautical miles from the Cochin base, this incident took place. Right? Normally, these people in the boat belongs to two fishermen by names Valentine Jalastine and another man by name Ajesh Binki. These two people were going for fishing in the mechanized boat. But on that day, at about 4:30 p.m., when the boat was going near Enrica Lexi, which was being guarded by two mariners, their names also I will tell, peculiar names. So, Masamilan Natore, and second person, Salvatore Girono. Of course, they are Italian names, particularly it is peculiar names. So these two mariners, actually they mistook our Indian fishermen as sea pirates, and they opened fire at them, as a result of which these two people died and there was a lot of damage to the boat. The crew are also, of course, they sustained actually not physical injury but mentally they were really shocked and perturbed. And now this incident has sent shock waves across Kerala. Immediately the local police, that is police of Cochin, they took up the issue. Immediately they went there, the marine police of Cochin, they went there and brought the ship to the Cochin port, and actually it was stranded there. Right? Just like we arresting the people. So these two mariners, they were arrested. A case under sections of 302 IPC, that is nothing but murder. Read with 34, that is common intention. So again, since there are two people, so intentional killing of human beings. The case was registered, they were arrested, sent to court. Right? At the time, of course, the UPA government was in power. You may be knowing Madam Sonia Gandhi, she is also from Italy. I think there are rumors or allegations that she has got much pressure from the Italian side. Anyway, since these people have been arrested, the government of Italy, they have brought the issue to the notice of the Supreme Court. They filed a petition under Article 32, that is remedial to right for violation of the human rights. So they filed a petition under Article 32 before the Supreme Court of India, stating that India has flouted the norms under Article 87 and Article 97 of the UNCLOS, UNCLOS, that is United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas, 1982. So they should not be arrested for the offense of murder because they have discharged their official duty. They were in the official duty. So they have issued so many interpretations. Ultimately, the Supreme Court stated that India has not violated the Article 87, that is free navigation. Yes, if any, of course, Article 87 says free navigation, anybody can travel freely in the international waters. And second part, anybody can erect certain small islands, anybody can go for scientific investigations in the sea. But anybody, the country, the host country, the country in which the jurisdiction is located, they can go for penal action. So Supreme Court stated, yes, the government of India, or not state of Kerala, government of India is competent to take up investigation in this matter because Article 87 was not at all violated by India. At the same time, Supreme Court has stated that the state of Kerala does not have jurisdiction. The jurisdiction, Maritime Zones Act, it comes under the purview of the central government. So, the government of India has to take up the matter for investigation. Therefore, Kerala has gone back and now the investigation was handed over to National Investigation Agency, which is under the control of the center. They have investigated the case. Right. Now, let us learn about the zones. What is this contiguous zone? What is international waters? I have told you. Let us have a cursory look at them. I will tell you. I will show this photo. I think you may be able to appreciate. So please remember, this is Sea, Arabian Sea. This is the sea coast. And the Cochin starts from here. From here up to 12 nautical miles. From here up to 12 nautical miles, it is territorial water. That means Cochin or India has got jurisdiction up to 12 nautical miles. 1 nautical miles is 1.18 kilometers. Right? But it is very difficult to measure this 12 nautical miles. Practically, when the practical thing comes, you will be able to understand. Then, from that 12 nautical miles, another 12 nautical miles. This is contiguous zone or contingent zone. That means the zone around this area, because somebody may come up to your territory after 12 nautical miles. The enemy country may come and install certain bombs. And what happens? So this area is a contingent area. This can be belonging to Cochin only. So 24 nautical miles is in our area. More than that, even that 100 nautical miles, I think 200 nautical miles. Beyond this 200 nautical miles, this area, it is called exclusive economic zone. No doubt, once the territorial waters, 12 nautical miles is gone, 12 nautical, everybody, international waters, everybody has got right to travel to this area. But up to 200 nautical miles, if there is any economic activity, if you want to bring out any petrol or natural gas, all this will be exclusively for India. Right? After exclusive economic zone, there is a continental shelf and later high seas will come. So high seas is everybody's property. So here this incident happened in the contiguous zone which is within the limits of India. So therefore India is competent to take up investigation. Right? So these people came back. These people when once again they applied for parole. I think they went to Italy for celebrating the Christmas, which is an important function for them, but they did not come back. Finish. So the government of Italy, they said they will not deport, they will not send them to India. Moreover, they filed a case against India in the special court for the United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas. There is a special court for that according to Annex 7. There is a special tribunal actually. That tribunal endorsed the matter to the Permanent Court of Arbitration because they come to know easily, they can understand that some damage has done to India, therefore they require some compensation. Therefore, this case was sent to the Permanent Court of Arbitration. It is nothing but which is an annex to the International Court of Justice. It is also located in Peace Palace, The Hague, which is situated in Netherlands. Friends, this case, right from 2015, it has taken so many adjournments, but the trial was conducted from 8/7/2019 to 20/7/2019, last year. So the trial part, the other part we need not bother. But please remember, in the International Court of Justice, whenever a court, here the parties are the government of Italy and the government of India. So to sort out these things, there should be two judges from these countries, so from India. So Dr. Pemasan Srinivas Rao, he is one of the judges. Of course, there are 5 judges in this matter. Vladimir, I think one is Vladimir Glosostin, he is from Russia. Ours is Dr. Pemasan Srinivas Rao, because they don't understand the culture, they don't understand the problems. Therefore, they want one of the judges to be Indian. So, Mr. Pemasan Srinivas Rao has represented India. Anyway, the judges ultimately delivered the judgment. Right? Now, you see the incident, you will be better able to appreciate the incident also. Of course, my drawing is not that good. Anyway, please see it. So, yes, this is Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea is this one. These people, this is, you assume that this is our Indian boat. This is our Indian boat where this Jalestin and Binki, they were traveling. Right? And this is the French ship, I believe, where these two mariners, they were taking guard. The distance is 20.5 nautical miles, that is contiguous shore. So these people fired at the boat, thinking that they are sea pirates, Samudrapu Dongalanta. So the incident is like this. Cochin. So the incident took place on 15 to 2012 at 4:30 p.m. Time also given. So please see it thoroughly and enrich your knowledge. Right. Now, the Honorable Permanent Court of Arbitration, they delivered the judgment and they have freed the government of Italy from the criminal liability. The government of Italy argued that they were on duty. They have discharged their duty. In good faith, they have opened fire, because here the problem is the Italians, they don't know the language of Indians. Indians, our people, they are fishermen. How can they understand? Are the warnings given by the Italy people? It's difficult. So there is no intention. Please remember, there is no intention. Even though there is a knowledge, there is no intention. So that too, it was done in the discharge of official duty. Therefore, no criminal liability. Therefore, these two mariners, they have got the immunity from penal code. Then second is compensation. No doubt, the person, 2 Indians died. Is it not? So the grief of the family is not, you cannot measure it, but you have to compensate. That is what is called victims compensation. According to CRPC under section 357 CRPC also, the victim, the family of the victim, the bereaved members of the victim, they are entitled for compensation. So the tribunal held that Italy acted in the breach of Article 87 and Article 90 of the UN clause. Article 87, free navigation in the high seas, and Article 90 is right of the so-called navigation. That means when these people try to come near the ship, they should have warned and stopped them. Without stopping them, how can they open fire? So India has not breached, and the so-called Italy has breached these 2 articles. Therefore, India is entitled for compensation. For what? For the loss of life, 2 persons. Then for the physical harm, because others also, not only these 2 people were killed, the others due to the sound and due to the pellets, they received injuries. Then material damage. This ship already, this boat already carrying much fish, this was damaged, and damage to the property of this, their boat name is Saint Anthony, right? So please remember, this has to be compensated. Loss of life, physical harm, mental harm, material damage. All these things definitely they have to be compensated. And they have said India is a permanent court of arbitration. They said India is entitled for compensation. Now, the permanent court has asked both the governments, the government of India and government of Italy, to come to a sort of agreement about the compensation, and they will pass the decree for the compensation. right? So please remember, India, the judgment, India has not breached Article 87, that is freedom of the high seas. It has not objected the ship to be detained at the port. Of course, because for the purpose of investigation, they have to detain the port for some time, then they let off. So it's not a breach. And also by asking, okay, right? Anyway, the court asked both countries to agree on compensation, right? Please, regarding the jurisdiction now, public international law. So the jurisdiction point is also more important, since the government of Italy and the government of India, they have become the parties. Yes, they have got jurisdiction. The International Court of Justice or the Permanent Court for Arbitration, they have got jurisdiction. This is also clear. With this, the judgment has come. Of course, there are different versions. Anyway, now we cannot attribute criminal intention to the mariners because they are not from this place. They acted in haste. That is what the court observed. So only thing is compensation to the family, that it has been declared. Of course, the permanent court asked these two people to sort out how much of compensation has to be paid. I am sure we are actually we believe in Karma Siddhanta, definitely will come out. Anyway, the next part will be there. But this is a good judgment, a judgment given by the International Court of Justice. This incident actually, it has caused so much of commotion at that time. People used to comment against Sonia Gandhi madam also, because she belongs to Italy. These people were not brought. When the Italy said we are not going to send them back, a lot of comments were there. Anyway, final judgment has come. So please go through the judgment and enrich your knowledge. Thank you.